Right. Who are the Nazis? Are we Americans the Nazis? Well, by proxy, yeah, I think we are. We embraced Nazi scientists, killed the Nazi war admirals, generals, hung them at Nuremberg, and then we siphoned, collected, protected the scientists, the ones who mess with our minds, the ones who are pharma, the Gates, the Gavi, the vaccine makers, protected them. The ones who mess with our minds, we protected and hunted and guided and guarded Nazis. Are we not Nazis for doing that? I don't know. But here's a little snippet. You know, history, written by the victors, is what they say. But you talk about World War II, it was not. It was IBM, ITT, Ford, heads of corporations, funding Kissinger, Bush, Obama's, Clinton's, CIA, MK Ultra, Operation Paperclip, NASA. You know, you go on. Our government, we've been infiltrated by Nazis all along.
Did you not know the intentions of the Third Reich? Did you not hear the words of Hitler's broadcast all over the world? Did you not read his intentions in Mein Kampf, published in every corner of the world? Where's the responsibility of the Soviet Union, who signed in 1939 the pact with Hitler, enabled him to make war? Are we now to find Russia guilty? Where's the responsibility of the Vatican, who signed in 1933 the Concordat with Hitler, giving him his first tremendous prestige? Are we now to find the Vatican guilty? Where's the responsibility of the world leader Winston Churchill, who said in an open letter to the London Times in 1938, 1938, Your Honor, were England to suffer national disaster, I should pray to God to send a man of the strength of mind and will of an Adolf Hitler.
Do people realize that England did a Holocaust on German civilians after the World War II? Copenhagen and the other cities using weapons against the Geneva Convention on civilians in the cities in Germany. Do people even know what happened in Serbia while Clinton was in power? There is so much guilt on the world stage. It's sickening. But I'm telling you right now, we're looking right now at the Nazi scientists wanting to do vaccines and DARPA hydrogel tags on us. We better wake up fast, learn real history fast.
Are we now to find Winston Churchill guilty? Where's the responsibility of those American industrialists who helped Hitler to rebuild his armaments and profited by that rebuilding? Are we now to find the American industrialists guilty? No, Your Honor.
IBM, ITT, Ford, to name 3.
No. Germany alone is not guilty. The whole world is as responsible for Hitler as Germany. It is an easy thing to condemn one man in the dark. It is easy to condemn the German people, to speak of the basic flaw in the German character that allowed Hitler to rise to power. But at the same time, comfortably ignore the basic flaw of character that made the Russians sign pacts with him. Winston Churchill praise him. American industrialists profit by him. Ernst Jannings said, he is guilty. If he is, Ernst Jannings' guilt is the world's guilt.
And so when these documents were declassified, actually, most of them, I believe, were shredded before we actually got access, if I'm correct. Richard Helms, who was a CIA director, ordered them to be destroyed. So how much do we actually learn from the documents, and how many documents do we suppose actually were destroyed and we actually lost all information about the programs?
Well, so that we don't know for a fact, but I assume it'd be the tip of the iceberg that remains. The story is that there were 7 boxes in a warehouse somewhere that were discovered later that hadn't been shredded. And those 7 boxes add up to 15,000 pages. And then a lot of the way it operated was there'd be a cover file, which is described in the documents. So when I'm reading a document, sometimes that's a cover file, and there's a whole other file which you can't get access to, which tells what's really going on in the program. So
Sped up the speed.
no doubt we're just looking at a tiny little fraction of the total information.
But of that fraction, we know startling things came out of these discoveries as far as what the United States government was allowing their agents, CIA in particular, to do to the American people. Why don't you describe for us some of the forms of mind control that were being studied and deployed at from mental hospitals to even unwitting people within the general public?
Well, one of the experiments was done at Ionia State Hospital. This is at MKUltra, which is in Michigan. And all the psychiatrists involved who were cleared at top secret were former military doctors. And basically the experiment was they take incarcerated sex offenders who are in a mental hospital. They interrogate them using various kinds of drugs, marijuana, amphetamines, alcohol, and so on. And what they're trying to do is extract information from them about crimes they've committed for which they've never been charged. So the whole idea then being, well, if we can draw some information out of these guys, maybe when we're interrogating foreign agents, we can do the same. And there was a team called the Artichoke Team, which did interrogations in safe houses on, they didn't say exactly who it was, but it was actual people of interest, foreign agents and so on. And the Artichoke Team used the Artichoke method, which included IV drugs, alcohol, good cop, bad cop, sensory deprivation, sensory isolation, all these techniques that were studied under this series of programs. Let's see, this is now, we're in the late 50s into early 60s. In MKUltra, a program that was called Operation Midnight Climax, which is extremely thoroughly documented. People who were former agents of what was the Bureau of Narcotics, which is now the DEA, basically built safe houses and built in those safe houses what looked like a brothel setup. And when you look at the requisitions, it's like satin sheets and all kinds of things to hang on the wall. And the guys running the program hired prostitutes to go out and pick up guys at bars, bring them back to the safe house, have sex with them, dose them with LSD without their knowledge, and the CIA guys would watch through a one-way mirror. So if that wasn't documented, you would just think somebody made that up.
But so the point is that these operations are being conducted as basically research programs, and yet we have to wonder the aspects of interrogation and
There's like so much more to this. I don't know. This has to do with breaking people, genocide, torture, on not just Americans, people, under the guises of security, but Nazi scientists, whatever people may think of them, we embraced them, and that's what we're using. And that is what we're dealing with right today. With the forced, mask wearing, Fauci, all that. Just, it's all tied in.